Good morning, and happy Friday. Look at that big smile from Trevor.
It's Friday.
It is Friday. Kind of like your Thursday, though, right, Trevor? You're working tomorrow?
Wednesday. Well, yes, because I don't work Sunday.
Yeah. Yeah, Mr. Trevor's in for Miss Heather, who's off for a couple days. So Trevor's getting up early and apparently got more sleep last night.
I did. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
I don't know what I would have done today if I did get more sleep. I probably would have had to resort to caffeine for the first time in a long time. I know, I don't like the C word. I don't like caffeine. I don't need it.
It's all natural.
Most of the time I don't need it.
You
I
see
just
energy here.
I only resort to that at it's very trying times if I need caffeine.
Yeah.
That's like I have legitimately no energy, which doesn't really happen.
Yeah. All right, so didn't have to resort to caffeine today.
Doesn't really happen, you know?
So we have Trevor, I'm Brendan, we got Gib in the back.
Gib.
On this Friday, and he goes, hello. And then we have some friends watching from various places. So it'd be great to know where you're watching from. Let us know what you're up to this weekend. We're looking at the Father's Day weekend.
Yep.
Forecast, honoring dads all over the place.
Of course. Why wouldn't you be? I feel bad for Joe because he has to take my place on Sunday. It's like, I totally would have worked that day. It wouldn't have been hard. It actually would have been really easy because this particular Sunday we don't have an early show. So it would not have been at all hard for me to just work Sunday night, stay up, and then be here in the morning. I do that anyways, right? Like my schedule is that I sleep when I get back from the morning show.
Yeah.
And then I get up in the evening and I stay awake all the way through the show. So it's like if I just did that schedule over the weekend, I could easily just work late Sunday and then again Monday morning. Because, spoiler, I will be here again Monday, too.
Yep.
For Heather. And then she's back on Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
But, it's like, why you got to make the guy go to work? I totally could have done it, but he being our news director, told Joe to come in.
Otherwise, Trevor would be doing the 11 p.m. on Sunday and then the 4:30 a.m. newscast on Monday. You've done it before, but that's not ideal.
Would not have it wouldn't have been hard because we don't have the normal 6 o'clock show on Sunday.
Yep.
So that would have made the schedule even easier.
Yep.
And again, as I mentioned, I've done it before. It's not that bad. Yeah.
Trevor's a great team player, that's for sure. We have comments and we appreciate hearing from people, and so we'll probably go over the weather quiz.
Yeah, weather quiz.
Going over the Father's Day forecast, and as Trevor makes his way to the weather test.
I was getting ready to do a bicycle kick or something. I felt it coming, and I was like, no, maybe not. Maybe not.
Maybe later.
Maybe later.
Yeah.
Maybe later.
So if you want to go do your kick, read the weather quiz.
Yeah. So we're gonna do the
do.
weather quiz before I get sidetracked again. This is recent trivia, very recent. This is like a few days ago recent. The National Weather Service released their seasonal climate for this year, climatology reports. So we're talking about season weather this year from March through May. And Sault Ste. Marie recorded 11.74 inches, so just south of a foot of rain accumulation from the months of March 1st until the end of May 31st. And without saying exactly what, I will tell you that that's high up there. Gaillard's reports in climatology and all their data goes all the way back to the late 1800s. So we've got over 130 or so years of data to work with. And this spring, in terms of how wet it is, does rank in the top 10 for Sault Ste. Marie. So the question is, where? Is it 7th, 3rd, or 1st in terms of the wettest spring or among the wettest springs in Sault Ste. Marie? We'll let people indulge themselves on that, try to figure out where it ranks and whatnot.
Yeah, no guesses yet. Oh, nope. Gail just put in her guess.
Segue time.
That's all I got. You go for it.
Segue time.
Go for it.
There it is.
There we go.
I was like, I wonder if he was catching on. It is weather time. It's weather time, and we've got weather today. It's kind of weird weather, but we've got weather today. I'm going to start with a look over, oh, actually, no, never mind. I'm not going to do a camera. Maybe I should do Petoskey. There's Petoskey behind me. There it is. I don't have the actual banner up, but that's Petoskey. You see, it looks a little foggy in the distance, but I think that's mainly because of just low cloud cover and some rain. It is currently raining in Petoskey, and Petoskey is near the Straits, which is where we're going to have all of our rain today. Next thing I'll do is the three big things. This is what essentially our weather headlines. We just try to cram as much as we can in here. Some rain today. Again, if you didn't watch the early morning shows, you know that not everybody's going to get a whole lot of rain today. As a matter of fact, here in Traverse City, we might get a few sprinkles, not much. Most people, or I should say a lot of people, will not get that much rain, but there are some people that will get very consistent rain almost all day today. And those areas are going to be in the Straits, a lot less south. Those same showers will linger into tomorrow to start our weekend, and they could potentially linger almost all day tomorrow, depending on exactly how much energy is still left. And then active weather overall this entire week, we have plenty rain chances next week, Monday and beyond. But the one basically dry day this week is going to be Sunday, right in time for our Father's Day. And I'll get into this in a little bit, but there is still, even though I say dry, there's still the chance for a shower. It's brief and it's very small, but it's non-zero, and so we're going to talk about that. Now we'll talk about, we'll isolate more today, and then we'll get to the weekend later on. Temperatures in the 50s and low 70s. The 70s are going to be in our southern counties. If you're not in our southern counties, it's going to be mostly 50s and low 60s today. Very cold temperatures for this time of year. 50s is borderline, like we're encroaching upon low record territory for early June. It's very cold. With on and off showers all day in the Straits with an easterly wind coming off of Lake Huron. And also it's going to be fairly cloudy all day, if not cloudy, entirely cloudy. Now, I do think some of our southern counties where we're going to see drier conditions, warmer temperatures, could get more sunshine. But the further north you go, if you're near the Straits at all or in the Straits, it's going to be cloudy all day. There's the look over radar. Of course, we'll zoom in on the one area that's getting the rain right now, and it's the Straits. As I mentioned, I've mentioned that so many times, the amount of times I've said Straits this morning. I could be rich man if I got a quarter for every time I said Straits. That's where all the rain is going to be today. You see, it's going to be kind of in and out. As you see right now, there's a break in the line from the early showers through parts of Sheboygan County up towards the bridge. And there's just more backfilling on the end of that. It's just a line. It's a broken pattern. Well, not broken, but it's a consistent pattern that's cut off of energy at different temperatures. And that's giving us some consistent rain showers today that's really just not going, it's not going to go north or south, it's just going to go straight east to west for the most part. And so that's where our rain will be centralized. If you're in our southern counties or south of the main line, I still do think there will be a chance for some isolated showers throughout the day. Again, so if you look down to our southern counties, Cadillac and surrounding areas, you're still going to get some rain. There's the isolated shower here or there, but most of it obviously is going to be up north near the bridge. Mainly south of the bridge. I do still think that parts of southern Mackinac County could certainly get some rain, and potentially even southern Luce or Chippewa County, but most of that is going to be near the bridge and south of the bridge. And then we get towards nighttime where things do start to break apart, but they don't really disappear, right? Like you still got those showers overnight into tomorrow morning, even in the afternoon. You see, like you still got rain chances all the way through the afternoon, even in the evening. So this pattern of rain that's going to be up north is just not going anywhere, and it's going to be here for like the next 24 hours. Now, its intensity and consistency will change as time goes on, especially towards tomorrow. But today, I could say with a pretty fair amount of certainty that it's going to rain all day if you're in the Straits. Beyond that, it's going to be mostly dry. I'll take a look at radar. Now, not radar, rainfall forecast. This is actually on the lighter end. It's surprising to see this. I often want to admit I'm kind of surprised to see numbers below ½ an inch for the most part. That just signifies that this is going to be mostly light rain, even though it's going to be raining nearly all day in those regions. It's mostly light rain. Again, so you draw a line from Traverse City, Frankfort, over towards Alpena, and north of that is where most of our rain is, and there's not as much as you get further south. Gaylord can be caught in that at times. Petoskey, Charlevoix, Rogers City, of course, Sheboygan, even Pellston, in parts of southern Mackinac County towards St. Ignace, Cedarville. I think even parts of Drummond Island and Rayburn could certainly get some rain today. Even Newberry may catch the stray shower or two. But mainly it's light rain, so don't expect you to be like flooding or overfilling at any point today. Then we've got the wind, and it's going to be mostly out of the east today, but it'll also pick up at times in the afternoon. Fairly breezy depending on where you are. You can see sustained winds up to 15 miles per hour. And with the colder temperatures today and potentially the wind and cloud cover, it can make it feel actually pretty cold. It certainly, for a lot of people, will not feel like early June. It'll feel more like late April, early May, which again is crazy. I mentioned earlier that we're encroaching on low temperature records for some people today with how cold it is for early June. Mid 50s is borderline absurd for early June, to be completely honest. And then we will begin to warm up starting tomorrow, and especially by early next week and on Sunday, we'll go back to 70s and 80s. So this really cold temperatures are really only for today, and then it'll warm up. But we'll also have lots of rain changes going forward. With our warmer temperatures going into next week, we have the more summer-like and late spring-like pattern where we get the occasional chance for some pop-up scattered showers, or maybe the isolated air mass thunderstorm, and maybe even with some hail, although I don't think the intensity will be quite high enough for that. But the idea is that we'll go back to a summer-like pattern where we could certainly have some pop-up showers starting with the week on Monday. The driest day looks to be right around Father's Day on Sunday. So expect a fairly active stretch ahead. You could get showers almost every day of the week. And speaking of Father's Day, there's the look at that over the weekend forecast. Shower chances on Saturday, still fairly cloudy for most people. And to be honest, it looks like it's still going to be fairly cloudy for Father's Day on Sunday too. I had alluded to this yesterday that over the past recent days, Father's Day on Sunday has been trending more and more and more cloudy, and now we can say pretty confidently that instead of it being mostly sunny like we had originally forecasted 3 or so days ago, now it's looking more like partly to mostly cloudy around the region. So I know, boo, but at least it's not going to be raining, but there's still the chance for an isolated shower. This same system is just blocking right over top of us. And while a lot of the excess moisture is gone by Sunday, you can't rule out the chance for an isolated shower mixed in with this system on Sunday too. But otherwise, I think mostly dry and temperatures warm back up into the 70s. Maybe some low 80s, although I think that's on the unlikely side. We'll stay mostly in the 70s. And that's it. That'll do it for the forecast. We'll go over the extended forecast. There's the look at that. Again, looking towards next week, we will get back into the warmer temperatures, 70s and 80s. And then you have your few showers, your isolated showers, and your chance for some thunderstorms. I think a better chance for thunderstorms are going to be on Monday, where we have a lot more instability and daytime heating, a part of a system. And then a system weather, a cold front, will come through on late Wednesday. And that's where we're going to get storm chances from that as we get rain and potentially storms moving through. Obviously, that's subject to change because it's almost a week out from now. And as you know, the Michigan weather changes all the time. And most of the time, stuff a week out isn't totally the most accurate anyhow. So we'll keep an eye on it. And then I have no update on the haze because, as I said yesterday, it's here until it isn't. So that'll do it.
All right.
Click, click, click,
we'll
click, click, click.
Say hi to our friends. Chris saying good morning from East Lansing. Happy Friday to you, Chris. Jackie is saying good morning. Happy Friday. It's 52 in Kalkaska. Can you tell me what the answer was for yesterday? She had to turn her phone off, so she didn't get that answer.
It's a good question. What was
quiz.
yesterday's quiz? Oh, yesterday was the largest hail trivia.
Mm-hmm.
What was the largest recorded hail? Or not what was. Where was the largest recorded hailstone in our viewing area seen? Mm-hmm. And the largest hailstone in our viewing area in northern Michigan is 4¼ inches in diameter. So that's like bigger than a baseball. It's a huge piece of hail. And the answer was West Branch. It was that was recorded in West Branch.
There you go.
So that was the answer to yesterday's.
My mom's watching. Hi, Mom.
Hello, Miss Kinney.
She's in Port Huron. She's saying happy Friday. Brendan, Trevor, and Facebook friends, have a wonderful weekend.
Oh, I intend to.
You too, Mom. Thank you. Susan is saying good morning again. It's still cloudy, and it's 54 in Kalkaska. Paula saying hello from Boyne Falls. It's a cold, damp 51 degrees.
Oh, ouch.
And do you want to guess what she said next, Trevor?
51 in early June. And like at this point, we're getting, I guess it's still relatively early, 8:50. It should still be warmer than 50. And you said that's Paula, right? So I'm guessing she's got something to say about hockey.
And you are correct. She's saying, go Oilers.
Yeah, Oilers. I'll get to that. Oh, don't worry. I'll get to that. That game last night was off the rails.
We weren't worried. They've evened up the playoff games.
Yes, they did.
Exclamation mark.
Best of 3 Stanley Cup final. Now it gets real. This is where it gets really exciting. Intense.
So Hockey Corner is coming up here shortly.
Yep.
Joel, and there's more talk of hockey. So Joel is saying good morning from Pleasanton. It's 55 and cloudy, heading to work. Joel is guessing first for the weather quiz, Trevor. John is saying happy Friday the 13th.
I keep forgetting that it's Friday the 13th.
Yes.
Isn't there only two? That only happens like twice a year, right?
That sounds about right. Yeah, it has
like
to
twice
start
a year that a Friday lines up to be a 13th, or maybe 3 times a year.
Has to start on a Sunday.
Whatever. I don't have any plans to do anything spooky, but maybe I should watch. What are the movies from? It's not the movie's not Friday the 13th, isn't it? Nightmare on Elm Street? Or no,
That
it's the
sounds right. Gib, do you know?
it's what's his name?
He's thinking it's just Friday the 13th.
Jason. Yeah, that's right, Jason.
Okay.
Oh no, is it or is it Michael Myers? No, Michael Myers is different. It's Jason, right? Jason's the one that's connected to Friday the 13th. So this is where I got to brush up on my horror. I don't typically watch horror movies. It's not that I can't handle them, because I've watched my fair share of horror movies. I've watched all the Conjuring movies, which were all terrifying. But I prefer action movies, which, funny enough, that was our question of the day, was related to movies. How do we get back on this topic without even bringing it up? I really like action movies. And apparently a lot of people in our viewing area are really fond of comedy movies.
Yeah.
I've said this multiple times. I did not think comedy movies were that popular. Like, of course, everybody loves a good laugh, right? Like, how can you not? But when, like, over a third of your viewing area is saying that they prefer comedy movies over everything else, I'm just like, really? To me, not like, you are, of course, welcome to think and do whatever you want, but I'm just like, if I want laughs or comedy, I'm gonna go to like a comedy show or like a comedy skit or whatever, like SNL, that sort of thing. If I'm doing a movie, I want to get like really immersed in the experience. And the easiest way to immerse in the experience is to jump into like a futuristic or an unrealistic world, like it could be, right? You know, your action movies, your John Wicks, you know, your Trons, your sci-fi movies like Star Wars and Star Trek.
This is all going back, just to fill our friends in, all going back to our question of the day.
Question of the day.
Yeah,
Yes.
during the TV show, 4:30 to 7. And it's National Movie Night or something like that. So we asked, what's your favorite movie genre? So we had people chime in, and then we showed the results, so that's what we're all talking about. But I think comedy did win, right?
Comedy won by
With
like 33%. A lot. It won by like over 10% the second place vote, which was
like that,
action.
yeah.
It was like close to 33% comedy, and then the next highest was action at like 21% or something like 20. It's like it won by a lot, and I was genuinely shocked that it won by that much.
Yeah, the sci-fi, the romance genres,
was
not
low.
very high.
Sci-fi was like less than 10% of the votes.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just a weirdo, and people don't like sci-fi as much as I thought.
To each their own. And people were saying Star Trek, like that was their own genre. So
yeah, that one's a staple of sci-fi, is Star Trek.
yeah. So John, that's who started this whole discussion. Happy Friday the 13th, he said. All right, we have Susie Q saying good morning. It's 52 in Frederick. We're going to Sheboygan for a car cruise, and then Lewiston for a car cruise on Saturday and Sunday, apparently a car show in Lewiston. So she has a busy weekend planned. Nancy is saying good morning from East Jordan, where it's 51. Our friend and weather watcher Alice saying hi to Brendan and Trevor. It's 52 in Alpena, and rain off and on is what she's saying. Gail is watching again from Kingsley. She was with us at about 6:20 this morning. It's 55, it's cloudy. Have a great weekend to all the fathers as we celebrate Father's Day on Sunday. And she's going with first. Alice is going with third. And so is Dave. He's saying, hi guys, it's 65 and windy in Breckenridge. Kind of cool out there. Hope you have a great weekend too, Dave. Thank you. Paula is guessing first for the quiz. We have your mom watching. Hi, Kelly.
Yep.
And she's saying, hey there, good morning, Brendan and Trevor and all the Up North Live staff and crew, as well as all of your viewers and listeners. Man, she's covering everybody, Trevor.
I don't know if she worked yesterday morning or Thursday morning, but it didn't dawn on me until she sent me a text asking if I was going to cover for Heather again today, that I was like, wait a minute. It dawned on me, I never told them that I was filling in for Heather this week on Wednesday through Friday. And I didn't even notice until she asked me that. I was like, I never told them, did I? I didn't. I went back and looked through messages because I usually send that stuff through messaging. I didn't. I just completely I don't know how I forgot to do that, but
He's going to be on the shift on Monday, too.
Yes, I am going to be doing it Monday as well.
Yep. And your mom says, have a fabulous Friday and a wonderfully joyous and blessed weekend. Thanks, Kelly. That was uplifting. Appreciate that. We have Kathy. Good to hear from Kathy. She's guessing 3rd. So is Jackie. Susan is guessing 7th. And Ethan is saying good morning all. 64 and some sunshine in Sioux City. A few severe chances tomorrow through Tuesday where he is there in Iowa. Chris is going with 1st. Susie Q is going with 1st. Mark saying good morning from Fremont, Indiana. 67 degrees. Feels great. And Susie Q is thanking you, Trevor, for mentioning towns we don't hear about.
Towns we don't hear about?
That's what she said, yep.
Okay.
So you must be mentioning some towns that she doesn't normally hear. Ethan is agreeing with Susie Q. Your forecasts, Trevor, are very thorough, and he likes your enthusiasm. And he says, sorry about the Panthers.
Yeah, as I mentioned, we'll get to that, because I have multiple thoughts on that game that we'll get to.
Jackie is thanking you for the answer there for yesterday's weather quiz. And so just for our friends who haven't watched, Trevor's mom and dad use the same Facebook account. So
yeah.
This is under Mark saying Jason, going back to our movie conversation. And
it is Jason, okay.
And then your mom said Nightmare on Elm Street is Freddy.
Freddy Krueger is on his Nightmare on Elm Street, okay.
Gotcha.
Jason. Okay, so Michael Myers, Freddy Krueger, and Jason are all, I knew they were all different characters. And they're all different movie series. Okay, I got them all mixed up somehow. You could tell that I haven't watched any of them. Actually, that's not true. I watched one of the Nightmare on Elm Streets a long time ago, but I just couldn't remember who it was. It was Jason or Freddy Krueger. I couldn't remember. I don't
was
remember
no help,
the last
so I'm
movie
sorry.
that I watched.
Kathy is saying good morning from Mansalona. It's just cold and gray looking here, is what she's saying. Susie Q said you guys are a great team, lots of laughs. Glad you think so, Susie Q.
I try to make the job fun for everybody else, too.
Mm-hmm. Behind the scenes, that's what you're really missing out on.
We should. It's one of those moments where, like, if we were to turn our job into a reality TV show and to have, like, what happens off camera, there'd be a large collection of me just doing the most random crap around the, not just here in the studio, but just around the building.
Yeah.
Going around, saying a bunch of nonsense, doing random noises, jumping around.
And you know those...
Running. I do running. I run around the building sometimes. Brendan doesn't see it, but I do it.
I haven't seen the running. You know, you always have to have a pot stirrer, right, in reality TV?
Yeah.
Gib would be the pot stirrer.
Yeah.
We
need a confession
starting
booth.
The drama, right, Gib? He goes, whoa. No,
we're going to add a confession booth in the conference room in the middle of the building because it's nice and quiet in there and it blocks out a lot of noise. We'll put the confession booth in there.
Gib would go, Trevor, did you hear what Sarah said? And anyway, Gib would start spreading. Anyway, I'm already producing our reality show. Yeah.
Oh, this would be great. Love this.
And Kathy likes old movies, and Susie Q, both good-looking guys too. Thanks,
Thank
Susie
you.
Q.
I don't get that a lot.
Making us blush here, Susie Q. Robert is saying good morning, guys. It's 52 in Indian River. Kathy had a small bear run across the road in front of her yesterday on her way back to Lewiston. Very exciting, she said.
Exciting, huh?
I
don't know if that's the word I would use if an animal ran out in front of my car, which has happened before. You live in northern Michigan for any amount of time, and it happens to you eventually.
Yeah.
Which is probably a good note for Ethan before he moves to northern Michigan for his vacation and also for his residence pretty soon. You're probably going to run across multiple deer, other animals like skunks and
I have a lot of deer.
raccoons.
When I drive
but
here at 2
deer's
in
the
the
biggest
morning.
one.
Yep.
You're gonna have tons of deer just running in front of your car all the time.
Mark's guess
You
is
have that animal insurance or car insurance or car prevention or whatever.
Mark is guessing first. Ethan enjoys our Facebook Lives. Seems like it because he's been watching ever since he started and then he hasn't stopped. So I'm thinking that he likes this. Glad to hear it, Ethan. I have to do one every morning around 7:15 Central Time, but it isn't working, so I'll have to wait for our talented engineers to fix it. I'm glad you say talented because he gets it. You have to be friends with the engineers.
Yeah.
Because when things break, you don't want an engineer.
Our
who hates
engineers are
you.
very nice, and they put up with our crap all the time. Yeah.
And Susie Q said, how funny, you both react well with unexpected moments. Just kind of like the nature of this industry with live TV.
You have to make the morning show fun somehow or you're going to be miserable. That's kind of the way I see it.
Yeah, go along with it. Apparently your mom, Trevor, works Sundays mid-afternoon to close and Mondays through Thursdays open to mid-afternoon.
So she does open on those days. That's what I figured.
So then she may not be able to join us on Monday if she's...
Yeah.
Well, what time would... is it the restaurant, right?
Yeah.
What time would the restaurant
Panera
open?
Yeah, it's pretty early.
Pretty early, okay.
Yeah.
So she'll probably be busy. So she couldn't... Oh, so another comment. So I couldn't have watched live anyway.
Yeah.
She catches it after the fact. Jackie wants to know, Trevor, do you know what the temperature is going to be in Goodrich, Michigan on Saturday?
I don't know where that is. Google time. There's so many small towns, you can never get, like, it's impossible to know where all the towns are around here.
She has 2 great-granddaughters
Genesee County,
dancing
so that's
from 3 to
south.
5.
Oh yeah, that's south of Saginaw Bay. This is towards like Lansing and Flint. Oh yeah, it's directly south. It's directly southeast of Flint and Grand Blanc or Grand Blanc.
Mm-hmm. Grand Blanc. Yeah.
Grand Blanc. Okay. Well, as I don't forecast for that area, I don't know it offhand, but I could do some quick research and figure it out.
All right. Yeah, I can read a few more comments as
Yeah,
you do
just
that.
keep going with the comments, and I'll do some forecasting.
Ethan is thanking you, Trevor, for the info, and you must know what I'll be doing in July. Smiley face.
Yes, I was told. I have the insider info because I talked to the person who talks to you.
And your mom is saying 6 a.m. open, so that would probably be 7 o'clock our time.
Yeah.
And Ethan's mom saw a bear this week. He's thinking near Cadillac. And while you're doing research, I'll tell a quick story. This was back 2013 or 14 when I first started here. I interviewed a girl, maybe not even a teenager. She was pretty young, but she was walking, and this is in the Cadillac area. She was walking between her house and her grandparents' house.
Yeah.
But a lot of woods were in between.
Right.
She walked, I don't know, either which way, but a bear attacked her, and she lived to tell the story. I think the
That's
bear
incredibly fortunate.
started to attack
survive.
her.
Bear attacks are
And
vicious.
if I remember correctly, she actually said that she started to pet the bear. And I think it started attacking it. Anyway,
You
just a
what?
horrifying, scary situation. She was quite a strong, resilient
Well,
young
yeah,
lady.
you must be to survive a bear attack, but also, why would you go up and pet the bear?
In the moment, I don't know. But that's a detail that I hope I don't have wrong. It's been a while since I did the story, but I remember that sticking out in my mind that she started to pet the bear.
Yeah, so for those who are getting any ideas, that's a very, I would say right offhand, that's a terrible idea.
Yeah, we're not
if
here.
a
I'm just telling you what she did. Yeah, we're not here to
If a bear is
endorse.
approaching you,
I don't know what I would do in that situation.
well, I'll tell you that the natural human instinct is to either freeze up or run, right? Like the whole, the fight or flight response thing that we learn all the time.
Kind of depends on the kind of bear.
If the
Is it
bear
grizzly
is
bear or
slowly
black
approaching
bear?
you, you actually don't want to run.
Depends
because
on the kind of bear, right?
It does also depend on the kind of bear.
Yeah.
Now, if we're talking about northern Michigan, it's only black bears, right?
Yeah, we don't have
and so black
grizzlies,
bears
yeah.
are significant, like they're still dangerous, but they're not as bad as brown bears. Brown bears are very scary. And if you think brown bears are scary, you don't want to know what polar bears will do. Oh my gosh, polar bears are nightmare fuel. Thank goodness we don't live that far north because those things are vicious predators. Vicious.
What did you say, Gib? Oh, nothing. Okay. Okay, so we have clarification from your mom. The restaurant doesn't actually open until 7, but we have to be there earlier to prep.
Right,
which
yeah, there's always,
sense.
the openers always have to be there, like way before the, like, yeah.
Yeah. All right, did you find the forecast for Goodrich?
Yes, I guess I probably should have clarified, what did she say? She said tomorrow, right?
Yep,
And did
tomorrow.
she say when? Does she want to know just the high temperature or what time of day? Because we're talking about just the high temperature. It's going to be in the mid-70s.
So she has 2 great-granddaughters dancing is what I think she meant, from 3 to 5.
From 3 to 5.
So
So in
it's-
the evening.
let's say
okay.
the
Well,
afternoon.
considering you'd have a lot of you're going to have mostly sunny skies down that way. They have a lot more sunshine down there than we do. We're going to be under a lot more cloud cover and obviously still some rain. They won't have any of that. They'll have a lot more sunshine, and so the warmer temperatures should stick around. So if the high temperatures are around the mid-70s, then from 3 to 5 it should be around the mid-70s.
All right.
We're looking at, we'll just say a flat 75. Make it go right in the middle.
And then your mom, which is helpful, she's putting mom in parentheses in all these.
Yeah.
She's saying with the BlackBerry, make a lot of noise and bang on
Yes.
things.
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do, is you want to try to look, for one, you want to try to look as big as possible.
Mm-hmm.
So don't crouch down or anything. You want to, like, get as big as possible. And then you're supposed to make a lot of noise and, like, literally scream at it.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to run away, is what I've been told. Because I don't understand bears, but I guess that encourages them to attack you, I guess.
Okay.
Because you register, I don't know. That's just, I don't know the reason why, but that's what I've been told that you're supposed to do with black bears, is you're supposed to essentially confront them,
Gotcha.
stand your ground, but not confront them to pet them, please.
Right. And just to be clear, she didn't like go up and start petting the bear and then it attacked. It was like
I would certainly
it was
hope
like
not.
mid-attack. Okay. Yeah, just wanted. So Jackie's thanking you, Trevor. Susie Q's husband, Ron, hopefully he's doing well. Hi, Ron, is guessing 7. And then it looks like we're all caught up.
All right, cool. So the answer is, in fact, first. That's
Wow.
right. This is the wettest spring in Sault Ste. Marie ever to date, going all the way back to the 1870s. This is the wettest spring in Sault Ste. Marie. And look at that. Our Facebook viewer, a perfect 5 for 5 this
Nice
week.
job.
This morning's viewer was Ethan, who got in on the action. And locked in the answer like 30 seconds before we went on air. So thank you, Ethan.
Shouldn't he have been working, Ethan? That was 5:20 his time.
Right.
What were you doing? Don't you
Yeah,
have a
that's pretty
TV show to
early.
do, Ethan? And then apparently Susie Q had a bear in her tent in Canada. Goodness gracious.
Canada.
Yeah.
The border.
Yeah. All right, is it time for the hockey corner, Trevor's hockey corner?
Yes.
Sponsored by-
Where do I want to start with this one? So, if you didn't catch on by now, the Oilers did win last night, and I will start by saying they should not have won that game. The Panthers, the Banner hockey talk. The Panthers threw that game away. They sold that game better than the best car salesman in America. Holy cow. So for preface, just to preface for those who don't know, and also to Brendan and those listening, the Panthers had a 3-0 lead out of the first period, and they lost that game, which is extremely uncharacteristic for a couple things. One, because you have a 3-0 lead in the Stanley Cup final. What are you doing blowing that? And second of all, the Panthers, like, never blow leads. The Panthers are really good at, and this is something that else, it's one of the reasons why I've put so much stock in the Panthers as being such a good playoff team, is because they are insanely good at bleeding time out of the clock. And I like to think of the Panthers essentially as just a boa constrictor. They run you down into the dirt and use their combination of skill and toughness to take a lead. And then when they have the lead, they turn into boa constrictor, and they just slowly squeeze and suffocate the life out of you and bleed time out of the clock until the game is over, right? Like the Panthers, before the beginning of this series, the Panthers were some ridiculous record. I think it was like 35-0 from the start of the season until the beginning of Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final this year. They were like 35-0 this year. So meaning that they had not lost a game in any situation where they went into an intermission where they had a lead, right? So if they had a lead going into either the second period or going into the third period, they won that game 35 times out of 35, right? Like you get the picture. The Panthers do not lose games when they have the lead. And yesterday, they had a 3-0 lead after going into the first intermission, and they lost in overtime to the Connor McDaid's and the Leon Draisaitl's of Canada. Funny, Leon Draisaitl was the one who got the overtime winner, by the way. They threw that game away so hard. All the credit in the world to the Oilers. This kind of leads into what I talked about yesterday, where I was like, every single time between the Panthers or the Oilers, both of them, anytime I bet against them, they always prove me wrong. I'm sitting here like, I was texting my mom, who I think was at work, and I was like, this is ridiculous. The Panthers have a 3-0 lead. It's not even fun to watch anymore. Whatever. They're going to win this game. And then the Oilers tied the game, and then it went into overtime. It's like every single time I doubt the Oilers, they prove me wrong. Every single time I doubt the Panthers, they prove me wrong. So now I'm at this crossing point where it's like I don't even know where to go anymore. Who do I want to invest stock into? Because I feel like if I overinvest stock into the Panthers like I did, the Oilers are going to prove me wrong. And if I try to switch it to back to the Oilers, the Panthers are just going to stomp on the neck of the Oilers and just prove me wrong there too. But beyond all that, this series as a whole has everything. This is low-key one of the best, if not maybe even the best Stanley Cup final I've seen in a long time. It has absolutely everything. It's electric, it's fast, it's unpredictable, and it's fun. I know I had just talked about how I was like, man, this isn't even fun to watch anymore. That was kind of an exaggeration. It is so much fun. If you're not a big hockey fan or if you haven't been paying attention to this series, I encourage you to do so because it is hectic and it is so unpredictable. I thought for sure Panthers would win last night, and they didn't. And that's part of what makes it fun, is being wrong. I actually like, I talk to my mom all the time about how I like being proven wrong when it comes to hockey. I know a lot about hockey, but it's so much fun when I get proven wrong. So maybe the Oilers will continue to prove me wrong and actually win this series and win the Stanley Cup in a series in which I didn't think they could win. I literally just yesterday was like, I don't think the Oilers can win. Like, it'd be so cool if the Oilers won the Stanley Cup, but I just don't think they can. And then not only did they win, but they came from behind by 3 goals in one game. Yeah, it's just a lot of fun. I would encourage you to watch if you don't. Even if you're not a super big sports fan, I think it's just an entertaining watch. Maybe not so much if you don't really understand hockey, because then you wouldn't really be able to tell what's going on. As is the same with any sport, right? Like the hardest sport to understand and play is the sport you don't know. But if you have any interest in hockey, I would watch. Anyway, that about wraps it up. We're at best of 3 now. The series is tied 2-2. Game 5 is tomorrow in Edmonton, and it's going to be an all-out war. But this is the time of the series where, like, now that the series is tight and it's tied going into Game 5, best of 3. Things are going to start to tighten up real quick. I don't think, however many games are played, because it's a best of 3 tied at 2, there's at minimum 2 more games that have to be played. Maximum of 3. I don't think any of the remaining games are going to be very high scoring like the last 2 were. If the final score yesterday was 5-4 in overtime, 9 goals. Game 3, the Panthers won 6-1, 7 goals. I don't think we're going to see that much scoring in the next couple games because both teams are going to be afraid to make mistakes because nobody wants to go down the game that puts them in elimination territory, right? Because that's how it is. It's a best 2 of 3. Whoever loses Game 5 is now facing elimination. And so this is when things start to tighten up, and this is the fun part. This is when it gets even more fun. All right, it's 9:15. This has gone on for a very long time.
This, I think, is a record, Trevor.
Maybe.
Yep. the longest one.
Me and my
done.
big mouth.
Well, we have a couple comments from your mom. Oh, you can keep the hockey talk thing up, Gib, because this is hockey talk. Your mom says, never leave a hockey game. Don't get Trevor started on blowing leads. Oh. I wasn't at work last night. That would have been a 16-hour shift again. Thursday's open.
I know a certain team that is a master of blowing leads and
is
so good at it that they broke a record
Okay.
doing that this year.
Okay.
A certain team. I won't name them.
Apparently your mom responded to Trev last night that the Oilers lose the next two. Trev and I said from the beginning of the season that the Panthers were going to repeat. I hope they don't. I would love to be wrong.
I know. I just got done saying that. Like, I love being proven wrong. Oilers, please prove me wrong. Because the Panthers winning again would be like the most anticlimactic ending to all this because we knew it was going to happen. Game 1 of the regular season, we were like, the Panthers are probably going to win again. And then they went out and got Brad Marchand and Seth Jones at the deadline. I will never forgive the Boston Bruins. Why would you give away Brad Marchand to the Panthers? They traded their captain and one of their longest and most tenured, literally franchise player. Brad Marchand has never played for any other team except the Boston Bruins, was their captain this year and one of their most popular players, and they traded him away for a second-round pick in division. The Panthers are in the same division as the Bruins, and they're just like, here you go, have Brad Marchand, because we didn't want to re-sign him for some reason. What I forget what's his name? What's the Bruins general manager's name? Don Sweeney, is it? Don Sweeney, you're an idiot. Why would you give away Brad Marchand? It's crazy because he's been such a factor too. The Panthers, I think he has 3 overtime goals in this playoff run alone. Brad Marchand has single-handedly won 3 games for this team. Why would you give away Brad Marchand in division? I can still remember when I was texting my mom at the trade deadline. I absolutely lost it when I found out that the Panthers had got Brad Marchand from the Boston Bruins. I was like, all right, well, if I didn't think the Panthers were going to win then, I do now. How could you go against the Brad Marchand enhanced Panthers? The team full of rats gets the rat king at the deadline. Panthers. How do you beat that? The Oilers did it last night. Can they do it 2 more times? I still don't think so. I still don't think so. I'd love to be proven wrong, but I don't think so. Go Panthers. I've got money on it, literally. The money with our station manager, TJ. We have $20 on who wins. So I'll be $20 richer in 5 days.
What is the name that starts with an M?
M?
Marsh?
Oh, Brad Marchand?
Marchand?
Yeah.
Your mom says Marchand was a huge influence in the Boston community as well. Very interesting trade, is Kelly's take.
Yes.
Yep. We also want to say hi to Susie Q again, saying, wow, Trevor, we don't have to watch, just listen to you tell. So she's satisfied with just listening. Ethan says, have a fantastic Friday and wonderful weekend. And Mark says, TGIF, I'm rooting for the Panthers. And we can leave it there.
Yeah.
On this record-setting digital studio.
It's almost an hour.
Talk.
What is it, 50 minutes? We're getting close to 50 minutes.
Yeah, we started at 8:36. So, yeah. Well, Trevor will be on TV tomorrow at 6 and 11 p.m., right?
6 and 11, yep. We still have 2 shows tomorrow. We do not have 2 on Sunday, but I won't be here on Sunday anyway.
And then we will be back Monday morning, 4:30 to 7 a.m.
Yep.
Streaming live on UpNorthLive.com if you don't have access to us on TV. And also, Madison's off. So we don't have anything to tease for Madison.
We don't have anything to tease, right? I forgot about that.
And then, yeah, Ethan, I saw your comment earlier about him muting us at work, saying, oh, apparently your mom said, Brendan, you'll have to give Trev a hard time that at the beginning of the playoffs, he predicted Tampa Bay would win.
I did. And that was solely because I thought the Panthers were too injured. It had nothing to do with my doubt in the Panthers' skill. I think in a 1v1 matchup, perfectly healthy, the Panthers beat anybody. But Kachuk, Aaron Ekblad, Sasha Barkov, and Brad Marchand were all injured. 4 huge, significant players, like basically their entire core, were all injured going into the playoffs. And I thought that them being injured would be enough for the Lightning to be able to pull off an upset win in 7 games. I still had it being a very close series. I was like, okay, the Lightning, they're going to make it really close, but I could see them doing it in 7. And I kind of had that as like the upset series. And I was like, I'll do it. I'll go Lightning in 7. They got demolished in 5 games. Injured or not, the Panthers are just that good. And that right there was when I went back to the argument. It's like, this is what happens when I doubt this team. I doubt the Panthers, and they shove it down my throat every time. That team is so good. Never doubt the Panthers. I'm never going to ever again until they stop being good, which is probably not going to be for a while. They've got all their best players minus Sam Bennett locked up for at least another 3 years. Whatever. How are the Dallas Stars going to win a cup with the Panthers existing? That's another argument that I made. I was upset the Dallas Stars lost the Oilers, and then I texted Mom the other day. I was like, they wouldn't have won anyways. There's no way the Stars would have beat the Panthers. There's no way. No shot. It wouldn't have even been close.
And that is your Hockey Corner for this Friday.
Yes.
Have a great weekend. We'll see you Monday. Bye.